Want to win money on sports? With Underdog, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash just by picking higher or lower on your favorite players' stats. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars on Underdog. Will you be next? Download the Underdog app and sign up to get a free pick with your first cash entry up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back like we never left. Another edition of Saints Block Party Podcast. I will give the Saints this offseason. Y'all have not had us left without content.
Boy, that's the truth.
Because it has been a plethora of content all offseason. I just got back from Mobile yesterday. Got home around, I think, like 6. Shout out to Jay. We had dinner and about like 8, a little after 8, bruh. I was knocked out, bruh. Knocked out on the couch. I started to watch Paradise on Hulu with Sterling K. Brown. 20 minutes into that bitch, bro. I was knocked out. Next time I woke up, it was 1:30 a.m. And so the Senior Bowl like week was, so cool to be at. Such an honor to be at. And I probably, I feel like a lot of people at this point in their careers are like, it's a Senior Bowl, blah blah. It was an honor to be there. It truly was. But it was a very tiring venture. And I think people think like, oh, it's a Senior Bowl. You guys are like, they're having fun. That was work.
Working, bro. I was like, God damn, this work. We out here working, man. Well, how much I get paid now?
Work. But thank y'all for the support. I would say probably like this whole from Monday through Sunday has been, one of the biggest like weeks of our podcast career since we started, almost 5 years ago in April, covering the Senior Bowl, having a very lengthy spot on NFL Daily with our boy Greg, recapping the Senior Bowl. Shout out to our dude Greg Rosenthal for having us on NFL Daily, trusting us to be the unofficial NFL Daily correspondents to, recap the Senior Bowl.
It's crazy.
Insane.
I remember in my draft Nick days, sicko just Googling latest Senior Bowl update, just trying to find every little piece of news coming out the Senior Bowl, just anything I can find. Now we out there covering it. It's just crazy.
It's insane. And covering it and then going on the biggest one of the biggest NFL podcasts, if not the biggest NFL podcast to recap it. So truly, like, honestly, and if it wasn't for the listeners, and it wasn't for people who support us, like, none of this would be possible. It truly wouldn't be. We wanted to do this episode right now. It's 6:40 in California right now. I think my body was rejuvenated. I got like 12 hours worth of sleep, ready to go. And it's good. And it's good to record this now because Jay is knocked out and, don't have to worry about taking any time away from her during the day. So let's knock this out. But before we go on, I want to give one more quick shout out to, I know we did it earlier, but much love to Dante, man.
Love Dante, bro. Came through clutch, man. And this is the thing. This is the things that we talk about of what this community is about, man. Like when we call it like a block party, it really is like it's the community. It's a block party. It's like it's not just you and I. Like, you and I are like the quote unquote faces, but it's not just you and I. It's like it's everyone else who surround us and support us. And he, I reached out to him and talked it over with you, and I just knew that we were going to need additional help of just how hectic and how big the Senior Bowl was.
and for him to dedicate his time and his money, but more importantly, his time to be there almost a whole week and be there to support us was amazing because it was needed. And the questions that he was able to ask some of the big prospects, Tez Johnson, Jackson Dart, Josiah Stewart of Michigan, the edge rusher, just insane, truly insane. And who knows what next year brings? Like, we might need a fourth person, right? That we may need to have with us. And that's what I'm talking about of this, what this community is about. And it's kind of funny in hindsight of what our community was accused of being about earlier, because it's like further from the truth. Furthest from the truth.
Don't get me started.
but I'm just
one more thing. I just want to give you a shout out, bro. Just shout out for putting everything together. People don't know Adam is like the administrative assistant, Kai Harley, everything for the Saints Block Party podcast, bro. He came through with the good cameras and the good equipment, so we can get like nice quality content, for you guys. If you go to patreon.com/Saints Block Party, you see good quality interviews, not no grainy, not with my Android camera, none of that stuff. Like the good quality stuff, man. So,
that Cloverfield camera, bro.
So props to Adam. He making sure we stay on top of the quality game, man. It's really him. It's really him making that happen. So just props to you on that shit.
Appreciate you, bro. That man, I went back and looked at that question that Mike Kafka fucking Euro stepped inside dodge, bro. That shit was that shit was crispy, bro. That shit was
crispy.
Woo,
we could see through you. I see through you, Mike Kafka.
Dash says Saints Block Party Inc. Yes, I mean, yeah, and we are a business, and obviously, like and that's, I think, the thing that annoys me was people like, oh, you guys love being negative. It's like, no, we don't make money being negative. Like, the fact that we are able to still have a community and people still join and become Patreons when the Saints are not great is a testament to us. Like, I'm going to be not mindful. That's a testament to us and the community and the shit that we do. But anyway, let's recap this flurry of news that kind of came out. So let's start with the Kellen Moore. It's inching closer to him potentially, being the Saints' next head coach, and then we'll kind of recap the Senior Bowl in totality before we wrap up. Excuse me. But a new story came. So we had that emergency podcast while we were in Mobile. This was what, Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night. We all, we recorded it. We had to get all the equipment out and re-recorded it when the news came out that everything was trending towards Kellen Moore likely becoming the Saints head coach. And then it's funny because I feel like I talk about it now. Like, that same night, I had heard something of like what if Kellen Moore just might be having, what if he might not take the job? I heard it and I was just told not to say anything about it. And it's funny because I remember I used to hate when reporters would say they'd be like, oh, I had heard this in the past, but then now I understand it. Now I completely get it now. So I apologize. But I didn't say anything about it because I couldn't. Right? I'm not gonna blow up my spot. Oh, can I give a quick shout out? Can I give a quick shout out to my friend, to my buddy, to my pal, who for 2+ years, they're a great person. They're a great person. But I get annoyed when people come at me telling me that the shit that I say isn't true, because when that is being said, they're telling me that a close friend of mine, what they're telling me isn't true, when I 100% know what they're telling me is true. Because that's what annoys me more than anything. It's not what people are attacking me. They're attacking what my friend is telling me. And I know what my friend is telling me is true because I know where it's coming from. And you can attest to this because most of the things that my friend has told me, and I have either said on this podcast, I've told you, I would say at least 90 to 95% of it has turned out to be true. Has it not?
Yep. No question about it, man. Like, Even some stuff where I'm like, well, are you sure? Like,
Right.
And then it's like, well, yeah, there it is. There it is, you know. It's just like it just is what it is, you know. Like, and look, we're not trying to claim to be like freaking Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter or nothing like that, but you know, like when the information comes, we try to share it if we can, you know, and take it for what you will. But, you know, don't be like, oh, this is bull. It's like,
but I just want to give my friend a shout out for being just being a cool ass person. And
for real.
And that's it. I'll leave it at that. But so I heard that, didn't put it out because I couldn't. And then the Diana Rossini kind of article. It's not an article. It came from her podcast. And this is what the world of aggregation. This is how fucked up aggregation does.
There.
She said it on the podcast about how there's a scuttlebutt of how there was like maybe he didn't want to become the Saints head coach because of the quarterback situation. But if you actually listen to like that whole podcast episode, she also kind of said that she thinks it's like it actually gets done. But like no one ever does that. No one ever like
just put that one point out. And you know, to be fair, I'm kind of guilty of that.
We all do it
purposely. I did that purposely. Like I screenshot just that bad part and I just tweeted it out there just to start the TL up early in the morning. Let me get y'all stirred up. And then that shit just retweeted like crazy. And I was like, what? Oh well. Oops.
And then almost hours later, it was like NFL Network put out like reports to completely contradict what she was saying. Even though if you really listen to the podcast episode, she essentially said that Kellen Moore was still likely to be the head coach. But you had like Mike Garafolo was like, all signs are still pointing, and now Kellen Moore, like they're gonna meet with Kellen Moore after the Super Bowl, and this is just another sign. And Mickey Loomis has talked to the candidates, like the other candidate bits about like, well, like you guys are still in the race, but we're really focused on Kellen Moore. Anthony Weaver essentially is pretty much going back to be has come back to be like the DC in Miami, right? The report about Rizzy was kind of weird because like Ian Rappaport like pretty much said that he was like taking the special team coordinator job in Denver, and then like him and Underhill like walked it back a little bit, and it was like, what? Why are you walking that? And I feel like some of that is like the Saints are like, hey, we don't want to get in trouble and do like the tampering thing like Arizona got in trouble, and then they got deemed, I think, like a 5th round draft pick or whatever they got drafted.
Swap thirds or something like that. It was crazy.
Shit. Was that what it was?
It was something crazy like that. And it was like, they didn't even do nothing like major. It was just kind of like they made a phone call or something. You know what I'm saying? So Saints got to tread real lightly. We know how the Saints are. Like, just tread real lightly with this. Don't want to mess nothing up. You know, they can't discuss anything. They can't discuss contracts, nothing. Just got to wait till the Senior Bowl over. Yes, are things probably happening behind the scenes between the agent and the team? Probably so, but it's not going to get to the news, you know. But it's just, you just kind of let it flow.
But one thing that came out of that Diana Rossini, who we did see on Tuesday afternoon practice at the Senior Bowl, was Kellen Moore's thoughts about the Saints quarterback room. And I got confirmation, and this is what I do think some of the talks of that flight to Philly happened. I think that, and when I say I think, that means that's an opinion. When I say that I've heard, that means I've been told. I just want people to kind of pick up on like key words. I've been doing this for almost 5 years now about the difference between I say what I think and what I heard. I think that Mickey went to Philly and really like, They was glazing Kellen Moore up, bro. Glazing him up, bro. Like he just had. And then I really feel like at some point he was really trying to sell Kellen Moore on this idea about Derek Carr. And then that's where things might have gotten like, what?
What? The one I beat 47 or 57 to 7, like what? Back in the day, him.
Bro, I'm about to coach Jalen Hurts, who's making his second Super Bowl appearance, bro. I've coached Dak Prescott. I've coached Justin Herbert. You in this hotel room or wherever we doing this interview at, trying to convince me about Derek Carr?
Brother,
And I was told and I feel like I can say this out loud because typically when I'm told not to say things out loud, I'm told that very specifically not to say things out loud. I was told that something that Kellen Moore needed as a commitment from the Saints, he needed commitment from them that they would be willing to move on from Derek Carr if he was named head coach. Commitment. He said, I want you guys. I'm willing to be your head coach, which 5 other coaches have not given you the time or the day. So if that's the one ask that he has, you would. It's not a hard ask.
Like, of course, like any coach, every coach coming in gets to pick his quarterback, unless it's like just obviously a franchise solidified starter. Of course, because he's not going to want to change quarterback. But in a situation like the Saints, no, we don't have a quarterback. We don't have one. Got to stop looking at it. We don't have a quarterback. Until you get one, you don't have one. And I could completely see Loomis going in there. Look, we have a good quarterback in place, Derek Carr. If you look at his statistics, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the last 2 years when playing as far as quarterback rating. He has a good arm and he's a great guy and he's really in the community. And we all we got to do is work out his contract going forward, and he'll be in place for you to be productive and have a good footing. Is blah 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 blah. Man, ain't trying to hear all that, man.
Kellen said
I'm
no.
Coming in there, I'm trying to get something.
And the fact that the most telling thing from yesterday's report to me came from, I think it was Mike Garafolo when Clayton Adams was named the Cowboys OC. It came out that the expectation was he was either going to go to Dallas or he was the offensive line coach for the Cardinals. That the expectation that Clayton Adams was either going to go to Dallas or go to Kellen Moore on the Saints staff. That was like, bro. I keep making these jokes in our Discord, bro. Kellen ain't thinking about that guy 6-pack Nolo defense right now, bro. This man on Zillow, this man on Redfin, licking up. I'll be
pissed off about the Eagles playing, bro. That man is ready to be a head coach, bro.
Bro, Saquon going to Kellen's going to like his interim office right now in the Superdome, bro. He going over plays. Kellen got to close his window. Oh shit! Yeah. What play you want to talk about? Got to minimize the Zillow window. Yeah. With Chris Jones. Steve know about to cook his ass up on Sunday, bro.
Cooking him, bro. Cooking him.
And Saints fans will be like, "Oh, Kellen Moore, you get beat by." I do not care.
Don't care, bro. Don't care. That car stuff though just made me feel so much better about Kellen.
Don't it, bro? Don't it, bro?
Feel so much better. Like, okay, my boy know ball. He know
ball knower. Thanks, the Wizard Kelly for the $1.99 super chat. He said, "Fuck unfollowed and immediately blocked when Derek Carr's going." Derek Carr's been blocked for almost like a year and a half for me on all social media, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You late to the game, bro. Okay, I don't remember when he got blocked, but it has been at least a year and a half.
I'm sure it's mutual. I
don't think so, bro. He's the type that wants. He's the type that wants to see what we're tweeting about just so he's in the know. Our dude Paul said, "Good morning, my dudes." Morning, Paul.
My dude.
Yeah, thank you, Dash, for bringing this up. Derek Carr with his little highlight reel someone showed him.
Boy, you gotta sit your ass down somewhere. Talking about somebody sent me a banger. Ha ha ha. He gonna put it up there. Look, a little 2-minute highlight from. Boy, you played 5 games, boy. Sit your ass down. You ain't had that Chiefs game on there. You ain't had that Packers game on there. You ain't had that Giants game on there.
He didn't play that Giants game was terrible. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, that Panthers game on there.
To your point, and people were like, not people, it was like 2 people I mentioned, like, oh, well, what is Kellen Moore? What does that say about, your guys' thoughts of like Spencer Rattler? And it's like, honestly, if Kellen Moore's first action of Saints head coach is to get rid of Derek Carr, it honestly kind of proves like what our whole point was, bro. Like,
what
if
do
you
y'all
really
not understand? Like,
literally proves our whole point. But like, I digress. And here's the thing: it's two things. We said this on like the emergency podcast last week. This is going to be the first time. I keep saying if, because the things got to be worked out. Don't want to put the cart before the horse. Shit could crumble at the last second. But the fact that this man is already working on a staff, like that's hugely telling to me. I want to go back to that Clayton Adams thing before going to the next part I was going to make. The fact that he wanted to get the offensive line coach Clayton Adams,
yeah, and run game coordinator.
Thank you for adding that. If y'all don't know anything about the Arizona Cardinals these last 2 years, I want y'all to let y'all know something. The Cardinals have been running the ball extremely effective, and their run game is really good with James Conner, and Clayton Adams has been a crucial key part of that. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, well, every offensive coach wants to run the ball, blah 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 blah. I understand that. But the fact that one of the first things, I say first, it may not have been the first things, but one of the first things that has come out that we know about that Kellen Moore potentially wanted to do on his staff was to get Clayton Adams and have him come in. That tells me is that he wants to play big boy football because we still don't know what Kellen Moore system we're getting. Is he going to be? Right. Is it going to be the Dallas Kellen Moore? Is it going to be the Chargers Kellen Moore? Is it going to be what he's done more in Philly? But the Clayton Adams tells me he's going to want to lean more into maybe like a mix of, because even when Dallas was good, Dallas ran the ball very effectively and very well. So the Clayton Adams thing was super, super telling of what the potential identity he wants the team to be. And I don't know. And I this is just a reach at this point. This is just a reach. But if your first move is to go get Clayton Adams from the Cardinals, man, Genty start making a lot of sense at 9, bruh. It makes a lot of
plenty, bro, plenty, and that's one of his former, a Boise State alum, like it just makes a lot of sense. And then I didn't realize, just looking at, I was watching the Derek Carr versus Kellen Moore game from like 2011, and I forgot Doug Martin. I forgot Doug Martin was Kellen Moore.
Yes,
running back. Yes, I was like, dang. And Dad say, Genty reminded you of like a juiced up Doug Martin,
a very, very juiced up Doug Martin, like Doug Martin, but like times 10, just with his, because he has that breakaway gear.
Right. But I just thought that was funny. But
how funny?
Yeah, man. Just the fact that Kellen Moore is thinking like that, because that run game coordinator, offensive line coach is very like well respected in the league as far as like one of the creative run designers and run coaches and O-line coaches in the league. So just the fact that that's what's on his mind, that's on his radar, is he wants to build that run game for us. A guy that was like a couple years ago, kind of getting blasted by Dallas fans for being too pass happy, He wanted to pass the ball on, every down, even though they had a good run that game. They had Zeke and da-da-da-da-da. And, look, he was a young coordinator, man. He's learning as he goes, just like Sean Payton had to take his lumps, got his, lost his play calling duties with the Giants and went on under Parcells. Kellen Moore's going through that same boat, you know what I'm saying? Got let go by the Cowboys, went to the Chargers. It was a mess there. You could blame him for it, blame Brandon Staley, whatever. It was a mess. Went to the Eagles. Look, Eagles, one of them teams just so stacked, it's just like, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. But you also have to give credit where credit is due. They're running the piss out the ball. That offensive line is coached very well. People have their feelings about Nick Sirianni. Like, what exactly does he do in the building? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to give Kellen Moore credit. He's doing a good job there, regardless that is extremely talented roster. And he'll be coming to a Saints that, it's night and day from that roster. Like, A lot of work needs to be happening, but he's got to see. He's got to be in the building and see all that talent, how all that talent works, how, having a Saquon Barkley, how having that offensive line of big studs works, how having big wide receivers out there and a tight end Goddard out there. How he's got to witness that. So now he gets to envision what this will be his offense with his fingers, with his designs, what he gets to implement. And I just can't wait to see that.
That part. Bajan, appreciate your brother with the 199 super chat. He said, cool to see Kellen Moore with the Rolodex, not just the same three guys. Mm-hmm. Marquetta Pickens, appreciate your love with the $9.99 super chat. Keep up the good work, guys. Derek Carr, no, damn well ain't nobody sent him that shit. Nobody.
His son out there. Does this look good, Dad?
Jordan Foggy says, what do y'all think about the Dan Orlovsky tweet that Kyle McCord and Kellen Moore seems like a strong fit with, and then added the Saints?
I don't know. I haven't done a deep dive on McCord, but he's seems like a nice day two, swing at the fence, just like a time and anticipation guy, got a decent arm. I feel like this. If Kellen Moore gets to pick his quarterback in this draft, I'm in. Don't care who it is. Jackson Dart, Kellen Moore. I don't care. I don't care who it is. If it's this guy and he's like, man, I see these traits, I could coach these traits up, I'm 100% in. Let him go and run with it. Whether it's an experiment, whether it's a guy he believes in, whatever. I just want him to go and have, whether it's, Spencer Rattler or somebody on the roster, I just want him to go and have that run, and I'm just 100% down with it.
I am too. It's just one of those, whoever it is, and I feel like as Saints fans, one, if that were to happen, whatever you have preconceived notion about whoever the prospect is or whoever the quarterback prospect is, especially once that player is drafted, that gotta go. And then if that player starts sucking for 2 or 3 years, then those former draft takes you had about him can creep back in, because I know I've definitely done that, with Shelton Rankins and what have you. Everyone is saying the Nuss thing. Maybe he's gonna bring Nuss in, and maybe he's gonna go after
the quarterback or the coach.
The both. Do you can I talk to y'all for a second? The way that the Saints have operated this offseason, what gives y'all any hint that they are thinking about getting Garrett Nussmeier next year from LSU? When 5 NFL coaches have turned them down. They're playing chess at that level, to so extreme level that they have now settled for their 6th coach in Kellen Moore, and they're like, all right.
We can bring in him as an assistant, and he's the dad of the Louisiana. No. To me, it would kind of make it almost solid that Nuss won't be coming in, the quarterback.
I need the Fox Motors of Saints Twitter and LSU Twitter to calm down a little bit. All right,
that's just LSU Twitter all day, bro.
Just try to calm down a bit. Maybe he's gonna bring Doug Nussmeier in with him. Maybe he's gonna bring his brother from Missouri. Who? I don't know. I don't know. I've heard it at least 10 times in the last week and a half. At least 10. And I'm not even sure. I mean, I know LSU fans will tell me that Nussmeier is a first-round pick. I don't know, man. I know 2025 Muttenberger when I see him. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. Someone asked a good question, and it's a legit question. Why don't sign-in trades happen in NFL? Sounds like a great way to get picks. NFL just doesn't think and operate like that. The closest thing that we had to that was the Brock Osweiler trade to the Browns. Texans, Browns, second round pick.
Browns, yep.
Yeah, that's Kimberly W, appreciate you. You guys are the truth. You are my soothsayers. I learned so much from you. Stay strong. You keep me laughing during the Saints turmoil. Who dat? Appreciate you, Kimberly, with the $5 super chat.
Thank you, Kim.
And I'm not saying that the Saints might not be interested in but like they don't like. I don't know, because here's the crazy thing. What if Kellen Moore gets involved in this draft process this year? What if he falls in love with Jackson Dart? What if he falls in love with Kyle McCord? What if he drafts Jackson Dart at 9 and that's his guy? Then that whole like Musburger thing for next year is like out the window. Like we don't know. No one knows anything about what Kellen Moore wants.
No idea. We don't know. Like,
it's just speculation.
Dak Prescott was in place when Kellen Moore was there. He was a player back then when Dak Prescott came in. Kellen Moore was a player, transitioned to being a QB coach, then a offensive coordinator. Justin Herbert was in place when he went to the Chargers. Jalen Hurts was in place when he went to the Eagles. We have no idea what he likes as a quarterback. Maybe he likes guys that were similar to him, kind of anticipation pocket quarterbacks in college. Maybe he wants people just opposite of him. Maybe he wants a 6'5" stud with a cannon arm. Don't know. Maybe he wants a Lamar Jackson type. Don't know. That's the exciting thing about this. We don't know. Get to find out. We get to find out. He gets to get his hands in the dirt and figure out and build what he wants. Hopefully, Mickey Loomis and those guys stay out the way and let him and collaborate together and get what he wants.
So two quick things I wanted to mention before I lose three things on Kellen, and then we'll jump into the Senior Bowl. We'll take a break and then jump to the Senior Bowl. The Mont Dog in the chat is basically saying that he feels like the Saints should like trade up with the Titans to go get a quarterback. This is not the draft to trade up to go get a quarterback. Not the draft for it. Not the draft for it at all. First thing is speaking about Kellen Moore's what he wants. I don't know if it's just a function of the Eagles. But I was watching, I had a long, not a long flight, but like a 3+ hour flight from New Orleans to Vegas yesterday. Paid for the Wi-Fi, was watching Kellen Moore play designs on YouTube, bro. Just locked in, just hyper-focused, bro. And something in watching at least his Eagles offense, it could be function of the Eagles, and maybe it's a Kellen Moore staple, and that's something I would dig in. One thing that is exciting is that if once it's officially announced, hopefully it's on the 10th of February, we get to have a detailed discussion with Cody Alexander about what Kellen Moore's offense is. And then, Mariah, can you have some breakfast, nigga? Can we get some eggs in your system? Can you eat an omelet, bro? Your stomach out there over.
Oh, that was my stomach?
Yeah, bro's been doing that all episode, bro.
Oh, I ate me a little biscuit, man. I'm good, bro.
Apparently not enough, bro. No stomach set. Feed me. Shout out Derek with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Keep coming with great real content. Your stomach out here been trying to say, nigga, I'm starving.
Help me.
Is he uses a lot of 12 men personnel. That's one running back, 2 tight end, and a lot of time 2 wide receivers on the field. Anywhere Kellen Moore has gone, Dallas had Dalton Schultz at the time. Chargers had Gerald Everett, who was coming from the Rams. Am I tripping?
I think so. Yeah.
Rams, maybe. And then obviously with the Eagles, they have Dallas Goedert. It seems like something that is important in the Kellen Moore offense is the tight end position. No matter who the head coach was, the Saints have needed to improve at that position this offseason. This is the draft to improve that position in the offseason. I do think that getting a tight end period is going to be absolutely crucial. I feel like this is also like kind of how Clint was to a degree. This is maybe an opportunity that Kellen Moore could kind of sell himself to Taysom Hill. He's gonna be coming back from injury. You're probably gonna have to convince him to take a pretty substantial pay cut. Like I was told almost to like vet minimum because of like what his injury is, because and what have you in the Saints cap situation, and he might not be willing to do that. Like, and if he's not willing to do that, he might probably is not going to be with the Saints much longer. He might go off to Denver, which would be a sad day. But the more I think about it, and we'll get to this a little bit in the Senior Bowl recap, the tight end that would fit what I envision the Kellen Moore offense to look like perfectly would honestly be Mason Taylor.
I could definitely see that.
As much as I loved watching Elijah Arroyo in Mobile, Mason Taylor is the more well-rounded tight end in terms of what he can provide you in the run game. And because he's quote-unquote more well-rounded, that means that it gives you a little more flexibility in terms of deceiving the defense. Right. In terms of, okay, if Mason Taylor's on the field, okay, is it going to be run? Is it going to be pass? With Elijah Arroyo, it's more of a, like, kind of like with Jimmy Graham a little bit to a degree. Like,
put a corner on him. Put a cornerback on him. Catch right. The pass.
With Mason Taylor, I feel like Mason Taylor would fit Kellen Moore's offense a little bit better, more so probably than any tight end in the draft, except for Tyler Warren. But like where he's expected to go, I do not want. But I was just thinking about that earlier this morning. I was making some breakfast, which obviously you still need more of.
No, that would make much more sense. Also, watching you had put it in the Discord that Kellen Moore offense breakdown. I was looking at it. One thing I like that the Saints haven't done, even with Clint Kubiak as much, is he implements a lot of man beater type routes.
He does, man.
A lot of those, two on this side, two on that side, crossing the field. A lot of that stuff where he gets the wide receivers crossing the field to run away from man coverage. And we've seen teams do that to our defense year after year. All the time. Because we know we love to run man coverage. So what's the best way to beat Marshawn Lattimore? Instead of going up the field on a go route, you cross the field and make him, and you can run away from him. You can run away from him and then you hit him over the middle, then take it upfield. We've seen us get beat millions of times by that.
Dallas Goedert.
Same thing. And he does that, like Kellen Moore does that a lot. So I was watching, I was like, ooh, finally somebody that come in and get Chris Olave on some layups that we've been screaming for. All these low percentage passes down the field and stuff like that we've been seeing in the offense. Maybe Kellen Moore can finally, give the guys that we got on the squad right now, a chance to really, excel in some different kind of route concepts. I'm excited, man. But one thing I noticed watching that breakdown, I was like, God damn, Philly O-line, just lightning.
Oh, bro.
Just dogs. I'm like, bro, can Kellen Moore grab a scout, just one scout from the Eagles? I don't care. He could be the lowest scout. Just come on with me to the Saints, man. I'm gonna get you a job over there, bro. Help us.
But when I did our little exercise of how to improve the Saints in 2025, and this is way before we know who the Saints coach was going to be. Two of the players on that list, Mekhi Becton, who's the right guard who's playing for the Eagles right now, and Joshua Palmer, bigger wide receiver, both have close ties to Kellen Moore. Both are going to be free agents. Both positions are needs for the Saints.
And I know people are going to say, well, how are we going to afford this? We don't have the money. The Saints were literally prepared to pay $40+ million to Derek Carr. Now, if you move that, and that's cash you could use on players like a guard like Becton or like a Josh Palmer. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you'll be kicking more can down the road and all that. Yes, all that stuff is going to figure out what methodology you want to use with your cap. That's going to be up to Kellen Moore and the staff. But I'm just saying, I'd rather take that $40 million and improve the roster than kick the can down the road with a Derek Carr, which is a road to nowhere, a bridge to nowhere.
And
what are we doing?
And we should explain that. So if they do cut ties with Derek Carr, and if and when Kellen Moore is announced as head coach, I 100% I feel like is going to happen. They would more than likely make that a post June 1st cut, unless you could swindle some fucking team like the Giants or the Colts into a trade and get like, even if it's a seventh, nigga, like if you want to get anything.
I've heard it floated out there. Maybe we kind of swap a pick just to get rid of him. Like, hey, we'll send you this, you give us that,
please,
to take the contract. Just take the contract.
Yes. Speaking of like the NBA sign and trade, like that's essentially like, it's like we're giving you a draft pick just to get this contract off us, right?
Yeah.
But let's say they don't trade him. Let's say they make him a post June 1st cut. They gain $30 million in cap space, but that $30 million in cap space, they don't get that until after June 1st. So they're going to have to do a lot of, and they've done before, they're going to have to do cap gymnastics with older contracts. They're going to be like, have to look into like, and that's where it gets interesting because we've seen the reports of like, is Tyrann Mathieu going to be on the team? Is he going to be a trade candidate? What are they going to do with Cam Jordan? What are they going to do with DeMario Davis? And that's going to be, my question is, it's going to be fascinating, is like, what if Kellen Moore gets in there and starts looking at the tape and he was like, all right, I want him going. I want him going. Because you have to be open to it because this is a new head coach. He has to have the lateral ability and the authority to make those decisions. And listen, Sean Payton came in and did it. He came in and made changes. He got the chair, got the recliner out the locker room. He made a whole bunch of changes in the Saints locker room, and they were changes that needed to be made.
You have to stalwart out of there,
bro. A third to the Browns. Did I remember that off the top of my head? No, oh my God, I think I did. That was sick. Just absolutely gross. But you have to be willing to let him make those changes. The last thing I wanted to hit on the Kellen Moore point, getting back to the draft, and I talked about this in the Discord, is one of the most fascinating things. I want to see how it's going to play out. We have 93 concurrent viewers on right now. We have already up to 200.
Saturday morning.
Already up to 246 views. Appreciate y'all. After this, I'm going to make this point. We're going to hit a break. We're going to come back, recap the Senior Bowl. Draft night. Saints stay at 9. Will Johnson, I'm just giving an example, right? Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan, falls to 9 for whatever reason. But let's say, and he's like the highest rated player on Jeff Ireland's draft grade in their cloud. And let's say Jackson Dart is also there. And Kellen Moore feels like Jackson Dart. And I'm using Jackson Dart as an example. I'm not saying this as like I have inside information that the Saints really love Jackson Dart. I just want to throw that out there. But let's just say, as an example, like Kellen feels like Jackson Dart is the quarterback of the future, that he can win with him. Like he has the traits, blah, 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 blah. And he is adamant that the Saints should draft Jackson Dart at 9. But let's say like on Jeff Ireland's board, he falls, a cloud or two below Will Johnson. I am fascinated because he's a quarterback and because you have a brand new coach. I'm fascinated who would win that debate.
To me, you got to give your head coach that leeway. This is his, like when a new president, I hate to mention that, but
whoa.
When any new leader comes in, a new governor or mayor comes in, they have their honeymoon period. It's his honeymoon period, bro. He wants his quarterback at 9, you give him his quarterback. Of course, the quarterback, whatever quarterback is going to be there at 9 is going to have a lower grade than the rest because that's just how the draft works. Like the quarterbacks, if the quarterback had like a top grade, then he'll be going number 1 overall. You know what I'm saying? It's just these quarterbacks are going to have lower grades, but they're going to get drafted high. It's just how it happens every year. So if Kellen is like, he's interviewed Jackson Dart, we're using Jackson Dart just an example, interviewed Jackson Dart, worked him out privately, had meetings with him, dug deep into his tape, and he's just like, man, I could take this guy and turn him into a franchise quarterback. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Like, it's no hesitation for me. That's what you give your head coach. Until he proves otherwise, until he proves he ain't shit with evaluating quarterbacks. Then it's like, okay, we ain't trusting you no more, buddy.
No more, bro. I just wanted that would just be such a fascinating.
Oh, it's so fascinating, bro.
And it's just, we don't even know. Like, I think we've all assumed Jeff Ireland and his scouts are going to remain in place because he's been here for so long.
Yeah.
Maybe Kellen got some people that he want
to. The Eagles, from the Cowboys,
I don't know. We don't know. Anyway, let's hit our break with Underdog Fantasy. We'll be back, recap the Senior Bowl, and wrap things up.
Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sport opinions into real money. Wide receiver hurt? Every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if any early injury causes your entry to lose.
I love Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit now using promo code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Download the app today and use the code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the app today and use the code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Will Derek Carr throw for over 75 yards, higher or lower? You decide using Underdog Fantasy.
Download the app today and use code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Higher or lower, you make the call on Underdog. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text Next Step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
We are back. Before I forget, happy Black History Month. For everyone who should be celebrating. If I don't know how much longer we'll have Black History Month, the way no fucking things are going, might be gone for we know it. But yeah, Trump said there is no more Black History Month. It's funny because Dad said that. I don't know if that's a joke or if that's true, bro.
It's pretty much true.
Fucking hell am I in right now, bro? Anyway, let's just recap Senior Bowl. So if you didn't get a chance to, we recapped day one, and then day 2, day 3 was media. Day 2 was media day. Day 3 we had the podcast with NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal. I'm gonna be at the Mina Kimes live show on Monday. Greg Rosenthal is gonna be there. Jordan Marie is gonna be there. One of the Rams players just got added. I think it's Brian Young or Kobe. Yeah, he's gonna be a guest there too. We'll make sure we get our date with Mina set up. It's gonna happen this off season. But any players, just stood out to you. We talked about Jackson Dart a bit. We talked about Elijah Royal, but just players from the Senior Bowl that really just kind of left an impression, whether it be positive or negative.
Positive. Your guy, man, Dan Jackson. Safety out of Georgia. Go check out the Patreon site. We got an interview where we talked to him. I was just watching this tape earlier this morning. Just would be a good pickup, in day, probably a day 3 guy. would just be a good pickup for the Saints, and I could just see him on the Jeff Ireland list. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Yes,
I could just see it, and just the way he, you just watch him, bro. He'll be playing, too high, whatever, and he just recognizes that run pass RPO immediately, and he's just boom, and he takes so many good angles, and just the way he attacks. I just think he'll be a good pickup for the Saints. And he looked good. He looked good in Mobile. He stood out. Seems like a smart guy. Who else kind of stood out to me? My guy, I've been rooting, RJ Harvey. Thought he had a good Senior Bowl. Also has good tape. Who else kind of stood out? Ty Felton, kind of a, low key wide receiver that I kind of liked, that I thought moved well. Trying to think. None of the tight ends really stood out to me outside of Elijah.
Yeah, Harold Fanning is going to be.
Mason Taylor did too, but we talked about him.
Harold Fanning is going to be interesting because I think for him as a player, he has really good straight line speed. I worry about his, and it's going to be interesting what he's tested at the combine. I worry about his lateral movement and his quickness and his frame. Like he's tall, but like when you look at Elijah Royal, you look at Mason Taylor, they look like tight ends. Like I don't know how to describe, but they look like tight ends when you stand next to them. When I was standing next to Harold Fanning, I felt more like I was standing next to like more of like a wide receiver, right? And so I don't know, and maybe it could work because maybe I could see him he could have maybe like a Juwan Johnson, but like a more juicier, way more athletic type of Juwan Johnson type of impact.
Remember Juwan was a wide receiver.
Wide receiver, he was. I feel this running back class. That's one thing I will say, and this is more of like a general impression. The wide receivers, the running backs, the Saints have wanted to add. They wanted to add. It's funny because they wanted to add juice a lot, and for whatever reason, just how the board played out, like whatever, it just didn't work out.
Yeah,
there's no excuse for them in this draft.
None.
No excuse. None. Even if they were like, I'm even of the mindset. Let's say, I don't know. I keep throwing out Will Johnson because I think as the draft process plays out, we'll see what he does at the combine. But I think that's the player that potentially makes the most sense that may fall and be there for the Saints at 9. If he's there for the Saints at 9, I can almost guarantee that he would be the Saints pick. Let's say they draft Will Johnson, corner out of Michigan, there at 9. Every other pick in the draft almost should be offense. Tight end, receiver, running back, throwing a guard there, get a go Kyle McCord, get a quarterback there. Every other player, it should be juice. This draft is juicy. It's juicy.
Yes.
It's juicy. It's a juicy draft. You really and the Saints need juice. You're also potentially hiring a coach, Kellen Moore, who he's on the Eagles. He's coming from an offense that has A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, even Gainwell.
Yeah,
he came from Dallas that had CeeDee Lamb, like a number one receiver. Like this man has seen them.
They traded for Jahan Dotson. They're like, that ain't work out. Like whatever. Just like
I completely forgot about that. Gave a third for Jahan Dotson, bro.
It's just like
This man has seen a lot of juice over his coaching stint. Yep. And so this is the draft for the Saints to add juice, and it's not in. I said this on NFL Daily. It's like ice cream, bro. It's just what your flavor is. Oh, I don't know. I felt like Ollie Gordon had a good Senior Bowl. Like he had a down season, but the season before, had he came out as a junior, he may have been like a late first round pick, early second round pick, just because the junior season that he had. So Someone asked, anyone stand out made their stock worse? Feel like there it is again, bro. Like, I'm gonna have to get you gonna have to DoorDash you something right now, bro.
Maybe that's something else. Maybe I'm rubbing my foot on this thing.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Is your cat there? Maybe is it yawning, bro?
Maybe cat hungry.
What's going on? I think the Jalen Milroe. I will say he bounced back and he had a good day 3. With day 3, yeah, he had a good day 3. So that would have been Thursday. He had a good day 3. Did not have a good day 1. Day 2, he was up and down, and I just really feel like with him, much like Jalen Hurts and Greg Rosenthal talked about how Daniel Jeremiah, right before the draft that Jalen Hurts got drafted in, he finally just put Jalen Hurts in his top 50 just because he was just hearing so many things of just who the person Jalen Hurts was. Not even so much as a player, just the person he was.
It was the same thing for me with Jalen Hurts. Like, the more I dug into him, I was like, man, he has the right makeup. I was like, I like that. Like, I like that. I had questions about his game, but just the makeup I thought would bring him somewhere. I didn't think he'd take him to a Super Bowl, but like
2 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
and
2.
I feel like Milroe. I feel like that's probably going to be the same case with him. Is that people are going to watch his coaches are going to watch his tape, and like that first half of the season, they be like, ooh, and then they start but what's going to happen is that they're going to get him in a room and they're going to talk to him, and they're going to see him and see as he's a good kid. He's
hard worker, like, and leader too. Like, just
yes,
he has those. Like, he has all those little intangibles, man. Like, and those are important. Like, you can say what you want about them, but that they are important, and they do take you a certain amount of way. They ain't gonna take you all the way, but they'll take you some way.
And I do think he's just, at the end of the day, I think he's going to be rated as a top 50 player, and I think he's going to go top around 2-ish. Lowest is middle around 2. Of just because people are going to bet on him as a player. What's going to be super fascinating to me is that if he goes to he's going to go to the combine. If he runs at the combine, if he tests at the combine, if he runs a low 4.4, or maybe even cracks a 4.3, then that
that athleticism starts showing, boy. We saw it with Anthony Richardson. People started saying,
then that tape get a little like,
they're like, oh, he only started 12 games. That's okay. Just 12. That's fine.
I'm saying, bro. Wayne's a Bama fan. He said Milroe is not Lamar. He should run unlike Lamar. Yes, 100%. He should 100% run. And I think he should crack 4.4, but if it's like a low 4.4 or like a high 4.3, that's going to get a buzz. Shout out to a Richard Matthews $4.99 super chat. Just a little something from Richard in DeRidder, Louisiana.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Richard.
Thank you, Rich.
One other player, I struggle with him because I could see the Saints wanting to target him in round 2 as a player like Jaden Higgins. I say that because 2 years ago, they really, 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 really wanted. They have wanted the last 2 seasons, 2 drafts to draft a big body wide receiver. They really wanted Jonathan Mingo 2 years ago in the draft. They didn't get him. The Panthers took him before Saints could draft him, which the Panthers saved the Saints because he's not been a good pro.
Right.
But this is where you have to be careful when drafting these bigger wide receivers and these big body receivers. Sometimes they don't work out, and this is why I'm not as hesitant as Tat as I am as Jaden Higgins. But we've seen it with Mingo, we've seen it with Keon Coleman, and they're young, but bigger receivers who struggle to separate in college from defenders and from cornerbacks. That does not go away in the NFL. Like, if you're not getting away from from college cornerbacks, that is not magically going to go away from when you are going against grown men who do this for a living, who run faster than college cornerbacks. It just doesn't happen.
Right. And here's the thing, like, you could be a big wide receiver and, maybe you don't separate and you can box out guys, but you have to be an even better route runner.
Yes.
As a big receiver. That's what made Mike Thomas so great. Like he didn't have, 4.3 speed or nothing like that. He wasn't slow, but he was more of a,
technician.
More of a technician, man. Like his route running was outstanding.
Impeccable.
Outstanding. And he studied the game just like a quarterback would. So it's really imperative that those big guys are like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Keon Coleman is struggling right now, because he hasn't mastered the game of route running, even though, he has great hands and a good box out artist and all that stuff. Once that part of his game catches up, then he'll be better.
And I feel like Jaden Higgins is a better route runner than Keon Coleman was.
I do too.
And but even watching Jaden Higgins here or in Mobile, when I watched him, some of the concerns I had about him on tape, some of those concerns kind of like I saw in person. But as a person talking to him, just very
kid.
Just nice, just a very nice kid, man. Just a bright, big ass smile. He confirmed that he had talked to the Saints that week.
Yeah. So what? What is there? How big is the separation between yes, Tetiora McMillan is better than Higgins. We know that, but is he like a whole round or two better? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's because everyone was telling me man, maybe the Saints should just not if Tet's there at 9, maybe they should just wait. Don't even draft him at 9 and just get Higgins in second round. And I thought that's the frame of mind I had in watching him, and then I watched him. I was like, and this is coming from someone who feels not I'm a Tet fan, but not oh my god,
not
Tet,
he's not a draft bait. He's not a bait.
No, he's not. And I watched Jaden Higgins, and I was like, no, y'all are being disrespectful to McMillan right now. Whoa. But I feel knowing that they really wanted to get Mingo in the top of the second and they're picking at 40, if let's say, I don't know, if they don't get Ted at 9, if I could see them maybe going Higgins at 40 more just because he fits what they wanted. The prototype they've been wanting to get over the last 2 years. I would hope that they would get a Mason Taylor at 40 instead of a Higgins, because I feel he brings more to the offense. But that's just my draft opinion. Anyway, but it was fun being in Mobile, man. Really to truly experience everything that we're going to be putting up social media clips on all the platforms, but to really encompass all the things that we did. You really want to become a Patreon, become a YouTube member. All those 4K interviews that we did with Jaden Higgins, RJ Harvey, I'm going to, Dan Jackson, who else? Caleb Rogers, who was a Texas Tech offensive lineman, who probably had the best interview of all the players that we've interviewed by far. You want to become a Patreon, patreon.com/SaintsBlockParty, so you can watch that, enjoy that. But we'll see, man. So Super Bowl is next Sunday. So it feels like, we'll do an episode, maybe this upcoming week. The episode will be, looking into potentially what a Kellen Moore offense looks like, or maybe doing a little investigation of maybe doing some tangential connections of Kellen Moore, whether that be players, coaches, for this week's episode. And then really the next big podcast that we do should be on the 10th, because so Super Bowl's on the 9th, February 9th. On the 10th, we should have the notification. It should be out Monday. Should be out Sunday night. Honestly, we might record that bitch Sunday night. The official announcement.
They should have the limo waiting on them coming out the Superdome. Come on, bro.
I don't know where the limo's going, bro. Like, it's the Super Bowl in the Superdome, bro. We just go ahead and just take that man. Just go ahead. Just go take him.
The airline.
Just take him upstairs. Richard said, crazy question, Jamar Chase to the Saints. No, but I would ask, speaking of juice, and we're talking about how crazy the Saints cap situation is. Do you go big fish? Like, do you go T. Higgins? Speaking of like the big body receiver, like, do you just say fuck this cap? If Kellen Moore says I need T, go give me a T. I had AJ Brown. I know what that looks in my offense. I need an X receiver like that, and then I can have him. I have him, and then I could have Olave and Shaheed. Play the Devontae Smith type of role. I maybe get my quarterback at 9, or potentially, or maybe not. Maybe I'll go another route, and then in the second round, I could go get a tight end, go get a Mason Taylor, or maybe you go, bruh. The possibilities are endless. I just want to see how it's going to be built. It's exciting. It's exciting to just think about, talk about. We don't want to talk about like Derek Carr. Just it's beautiful. Anyway,
football, baby.
Football, bro. Ball. Like you said, and I'll leave on this. The most exciting thing in news that I got yesterday was I was told that Kellen Moore needed commitment from the Saints that if he was going to be the head coach, that they would release or move on from Derek Carr. I said, that's my head coach.
That's my head coach. My guy.
I got the Kellen Moore Boise State jersey in the cart right now, ready to ship. Because when that Derek Carr release news hits and we record that episode, that shit gonna be on, bruh. Gonna be wearing my Kellen Moore jersey, bruh. Best believe I will. Right on the pod, bruh. The whole thing, bruh.
Let's go.
Anyway, Milton Williams to the Saints would be perfect. Listen, that's my guy. I've been saying it. That's the Eagles. That's the Eagles defensive lineman, bruh. Yeah. The interior lineman, the sneaky one, bro.
Yeah.
That's
gimme.
I said it, bro. I want him. Anyway, we appreciate y'all. We have 88 concurrent viewers on it's like 9:40 Central Time, at 7:43 Pacific Time where I am. 316 views. We truly, truly appreciate y'all. We appreciate the love. Been a super busy week for us. We wanted to get this out. We wanted to, do the recap. We wanted to talk about Kellen Moore, get some excitement going. We will be back this week. We'll try to have a Kellen Moore Connections episode. I like that. Mm-hmm. Kellen Moore Connections episode.
Prospect of the week too.
That's right. Can't forget POTW. Ooh, maybe we should have. Ooh, maybe put Jackson Dart in the poll. Oh, that's good.
Ooh, spicy.
God, the streets hot. Anyway, we'll be back this week. Prospect of the Week episode for Patreon only, YouTube members only, and then we'll have our regular podcast episode, the Kellen Moore Connections episode. And then after that, it should be that official Kellen Moore to the Saints official after the Super Bowl, night of the Super Bowl, day after the Super Bowl episode, emergency podcast situation that we'll record. Anyway, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the support. We will be back as always this week. A lot coming for you guys. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. With that, we are out.
Peace.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Kroger Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.